from nearly 7 to over 8 figures in just 4 months. The secret sauce was strategic enhancement and powerful ad scaling inside and outside of the ad account. Are you ready for some game-changing insights for this remarkable growth story? So let's start with the most important one, the offer. The client had a product market fit, but he was struggling with scaling. From my previous experience, I told him that he needs to start bundling the products. So that's exactly what the first step in the backend was. Instead of selling just 1 month, we created 2-month and 3-month bundle and used price anchoring to make people pick 3-month offer. 3-month offer was looking like a no-brainer decision, and the take rate of that bundle was over 80%. You can imagine what impact on the margins extra $50 had. This allowed us to spend more on Facebook ads, which immediately unlocked the first stage of scale. While that was done in the backend, I started making moves in the ad account. So the next thing that we did was switching from the CBO testing that which client was doing, where most spend was going to 2 ad sets and 2 ads. Performance was decent, but no new tests were getting any traction, and those new ads were actually pretty good performers, but they never stood a chance. I moved them to ABO and gave them dedicated budget. These ads immediately started popping off, which allowed us to next level of scale. I need to highlight that I still think Facebook knows best where it should spend the money, but in this case, new tests were not getting much traction. If the percentage of hit rate of the new test was bad, I would continue to use the CBO. But with a higher percentage of new tests, by scaling all the individual good tests, I was able to offset the bad performance of the bad tests. Thing number 3. Next on the list was to unlock some new angles. The client ads and messaging were talking about generic problem, and that was decent enough, but for the next level of growth, I did a deep dive of their customer reviews, comments on the ads, and identified 2 core groups of avatars to which we switched most of our messaging. We initially built statics towards those avatars and soon identified key phrases and key messages of which these avatars would react to. We then moved these messages to videos and after that built our tutorials around them. This way, both images and video were congruent with the landing page that also spoke about the same avatar. Even problem images on the landing pages were about those avatars. We saw another bump in our spend in our revenue because of that. Number 4, let's get back to the ad account. I realized that the performance on the weekend for this ad account was always better, so I dived deeper. I realized that conversion rate improves over the weekend, which made performance better. But I could not know how much I can scale, how much better actually it would be. So I started playing with manual bids. I moved all of my winning ads with the post ID to one Advantage Shopping Plus campaign and set my CPA around my target and average CPA in the ad account. Initially, I started with a conservative budget, but when I noticed it spends super profitably during the weekends, I start bumping the budgets. Currently, that campaign sits at $30K just in case it can spend more during the weekend. And sometimes it does. It spends a full budget on the weekend, then it spends decrease 40% during the weekdays. This way, I'm maximizing efficiency during those high conversion periods, and it works like a charm. If you're an ecom brand spending at least $50K a month on Facebook ads, and you want me to implement some of these strategies that I mentioned in your ad account, apply for a free audit below. Now, again, a bit more on the creatives. The client was mostly running basic images and UGC ads, but I pushed him to do some VSLs, unboxing videos with older demographics. In other words, I pushed him for creative diversification. While I cannot put a number next to the success of this, I noticed that our rolling reach metric in the ad account was actually staying the same despite our spending way higher than the previous months. This tells me that this strategy is working, as we are always reaching a different pocket of the audience, ads with the different angles as well as with different ad styles. Learning number 6 is actually closely related to the previous point. I told my client how some other clients have success with whitelisting, and this is something we definitely need to try on. He found a few people willing to provide access to their Facebook and Instagram profile, and we started running ads under those handles. Regular creators' handles at the moment are hit or miss, but authority creators are bringing some serious results, which is not a surprise to me. Basically, people trust more to someone who's an expert in the space. So our next move was to try to find some authorities and build our tutorials coming from those experts to have the whole customer journey aligned. Thing number 7 is not something I suggested to the client, but we actually saw some nice growth from it just by opening new markets. The client has ability to ship worldwide, so we just took some of existing best ads and funnels and adjust them in terms of the sizing and wording and ran them to new countries. An easy next step was Australia and UK, but currently we are also testing Europe and Middle East at the moment. It's such an underrated strategy, as you have the product market fit, you have the winning ads, you have the winning funnel, so you just need a bit more tweaking in terms of the currency, but these additional markets are a great addition. They're not necessarily so scalable, but they're definitely a nice addition to your overall numbers. And the final thing is similar to the previous point, but instead of opening new market, it was opening new channels. Considering this client is scaling to our older demographics, we started with AppLovin recently. To be honest, I was skeptical about it, considering it's a similar type of traffic as audience network placement on Facebook, which is usually bad performing placement. But I was wrong. We managed to reach half of the Facebook ad spend after a few weeks, which is really amazing. And the process was super similar and low effort, taking the winning ads from Facebook on a weekly basis and launching them on AppLovin. I hope this type of content that's slightly outside of the ad account was helpful to you guys. I just wanted to showcase that I act as a grow partner for my clients, not just a guy who's clicking the buttons inside of the Ads Manager. If you want the same level of support so we can scale your business and your ad account, just book a call with me below or apply for the audit of your next ad account. Cheers!